Good morning, children. Today I am going to explain about organization of tissue part 3. Okay. The last video I have explained about the what is a permanent tissues and what is a meristematic tissue, what is a simple permanent tissue, what is a complex permanent tissue, everything I have explained you. And the cell division of the meiosis and mitosis I have explained you in the online class itself. So this is the last topic of this chapter, that is organization tissue of part 3. Okay. In this video we are going to explain about, I am going to discuss with you, that is connective tissues. Okay. What is connective tissues? This is connective tissue means it is going to connect something. What it is going to connect something? Group of cells is called tissues. Okay, that different kind of tissues will be connected by one kind of tissues is called connective tissues. Okay, so two different tissues are connected by one tissues, that is called connective tissues. Okay, and it is provides it is most abundantly widely distributed in the tissues. Okay, in generally, if you are taking any type of tissue in the body that consisting the abundantly, that is almost 90% is the connective tissue only present. It provides a structural framework and gives the support to the different tissues forming organs. Okay, so it is the actual structure framework is given by these connective tissues only. Okay, and it prevents the organ from the getting displaced by a body movements. Yes, it prevents our internal organs like heart, kidney, brain, all the part is getting displaced. It should be fixed in one place, that is the fixation is maintained by this connective tissue. Next time, coming to the component of the connective tissue, what are all the things which is present in the connective tissues? That is, one is matrix, that is intracellular substances. That is, if you are seeing the connective tissue that consisting of substances, that is matrix, and connective tissue cells and fibers is there. And based on this, the connective tissue are again classified into 4 types. One is the connective tissue proper, another one is the supportive connective tissue, next is this dense connective tissue and fluid connective tissue. Okay, this dense connective tissue is also called areolar or the adipose tissue. That there is 2 type of tissue in the connective tissue proper, areolar and adipose tissue. The supportive connective tissue is the cartilage and bone. What is that? Cartilage and bone. Next, the dense connective tissue is tendon and ligaments. Fluid connective tissue is blood and lymph. First, we'll discuss about the connective tissue proper. Connective tissue proper is consisting of collagen fibers, elastin fibers and fibroblast cells. Okay, so there is one type of connective tissue. This is connective tissue proper is there. That connective tissue proper is consist of collagen fibers, elastin fibers and fibroblast cells. These are all the fibers and cells which is present in the connective tissue proper. That is, example of the connective tissue proper is alveolar tissue. This alveolar tissue, if you are seeing this areolar tissue, there is a loosely arranged semi-fluid ground substances. What is called ground substances? This is very basic substances needed for the areolar tissue. So that it is called ground substances called matrix. It is a semi-fluid. It is not in the fluid form and it is not in the solid form. It is in between the solid and liquid, so that it is called semi-fluid form of the substances. It is morely present in the areolar tissue, so that it is called matrix. Okay, and if you are seeing this, it takes a form of fine threads crossing each other in every direction, leaving a small spaces called areola. What is called areola? That is, this areolar tissue along with the matrix, some of them is forming as a fine thread and it is crossing over here and there in the all directions and leaving as some small spaces in between that space is called areolae. Okay, so what is this areolar tissue role is? It's connecting the skin to muscle. So under our skin of the body, you will be appreciating the muscles. So that muscle will be attached to the skin with the help of this areolar tissue only. And also it fills the space which is present inside our body organ, that is like kidney, heart, that is also surrounded by this areolar tissue. And along with the areolar tissue, blood vessels and nerves will be there. Okay, inside of our body, our internal body organ like heart, kidney will be surrounded by a muscles like a areolar muscles, along with that blood vessels and nerves is there. And also it is used to repair the tissue after injury or fixes the skin to underlying muscles. If any injury is happening to our skin, some scratches or some abrasion is there, that is healed by or repaired by this areolar tissue. Next I'm coming to the adipose tissue of the second type of the connective tissue proper is the adipose tissue is an aggregation of fat cells. Okay, adipose tissue means it is nothing but if you are taking areolar tissue, that is fibroblast cells is there, elastin fibrin is elastin is there, elastin fibers is there, and this thing collagen fibers is there. But if you are taking adipose tissue, that consisting of aggregation of fat cells or the adipocytes or the fat cells is present in the adipose tissue, that is spherical or the oval in shape. It reserves the fat reservoir. It is act as a fat reservoirs, and they are present in the subcutaneous tissue between the internal organs like a heart, kidney. So subcutaneous tissue means below the skin is called subcutaneous tissue. That tissue is fully filled up with this adipose tissue, especially it is present in the organ around the heart and kidney, and also it is act as a shock absorbers around the kidney and eyeballs. Okay, so they also regulate their body temperature by acting as an insulator. When our body temperature is increased, that will be reduced, and it is keep it for a one particular maintenance is called insulator, that is done by the adipose tissue. Next is supporting the connective tissue. Next type of the connective tissue is supporting connective tissue, example cartilage and bone. Okay, so this supporting or the skeletal connective tissue that forms the endoskeleton of the vertebrate body, which protect the various organ and helps in the locomotion. What I am trying to say, the supporting or the skeletal connective tissues form the endoskeleton of the vertebrate. Okay, if you think like we don't have any bone in our body, how will we look like? Will we look like definitely a earthworm. Earthworm is moving in the ground with the help of their body, because it does not have any skeletal framework. This kind of skeletal framework you have studied in the last year organization of tissue in the second term of 8th standard, right? The same thing is I am trying to say here. And cartilage is it's a type of bone only, but it is not a bone like rigid, it is somewhat soft bone, so that it is called cartilage. This is a soft and semi-rigid, flexible, less vascular in the nature. Less vascular means it has the blood vessels with the minimum level, so that it is called less vascular in nature. So the less vascular meaning is it has the blood supply but with a minimum level. Okay, and composed of all the blood should get the blood supply, and cartilage also get the blood supply, but in the minor, very minimum range is called less vascular in nature. Okay, next composed of a large cartilage cells called chondrocytes. Okay, chondrocytes are the group of cells that is making the cartilage tissue, that is our supporting connective tissue. These cells are present in the fluid filled spaces called lacunae. There is the cartilage bone, the lacunae is there, it is a fluid filled space. Okay, in this fluid filled space is called lacunae. This lacunae is present along with the chondrocytes is a cells which is present in the cartilage. Okay, the cartilage, where it is present in our body, it is present in the tip of our nose and external ear, and also it is present in the long bones, trachea, larynx, and it provides the support and flexibility to the body parts. It provides the support and flexibility to the body parts. Next I am coming to the bone. Bone, you know that it is very solid and rigid, very strong, non-flexible skeletal connective tissue is bone. Why? Okay, why it is with very strong? Because it has the calcium salt. It is rich with the calcium salt and the collagen fibers. So because of this collagen fibers as well as the calcium will give the very strength to the bone. Okay, the bone in the form of concentric rings called lamellae. If you are watching this diagram, you can appreciate some circular shaped rings is there. The rings is concentric rings is called lamellae. Okay, So this ring, concentric ring is called lamellae. This, they communicate with each other by the network. Okay, the bone cells present in the lacuna are called osteocytes. Okay, so lacunae I explained you in the cartilage itself. It is a fluid filled space. In that fluid filled spaces is presenting with the cells is called osteocytes. But if you are taking a cartilage, it is a chondrocytes. This osteocytes is act as a network of fine canals called canaliculi. Okay, what is called canaliculi? Canaliculi means small opening in between the two cells of the chondrocytes or the bone cells. This canal in between the two cells, in between the network fine, it's like a channel or the canal. So it is presenting a very fine canal network is called canaliculi. This canaliculi or the hollow cavity spaces called marrow, cavities filled with the bone marrow. These hollows is also called marrow, that is a bone marrow. They provide the shape and structure framework to the body. Okay, bone support and protect the soft tissues organisms. You know that without our hand and the legs bone and the backbone, we cannot be a straight manner. Will be look like earthworm only. So that only they are telling it is giving a strong shape and a structural framework. Next, dense connective tissue. What is called dense connective tissue? This is a dense connective tissue. It is fibrous connective tissue, densely packed with fibers and fibroblast. It is a principal component of tendon and ligament. Tendon means it is two bones is connected with the help of tendon. Ligament means two bone and muscle is connected with the help of ligaments. Okay, so tendons are cord-like strong structures that join the skeletal muscle to the bone. That is, bone muscle is connected with the help of tendon. This tendon is comes under the dense connective tissue, and it is a cord like very strong structure. This is have the great strength and limited flexibility. They consist of parallel bundles of collagen fibers between the which are a row of fibroblast. Okay, so collagen fibers and fibroblast is this blue color is a fibroblast which is present in between the rows. Okay, but in between the rows is and they consist of parallel bundles. So parallel bundle is there. That parallel bundle is called collagen fibers, and in between the parallel bundle of the collagen fibers you will be appreciated some different nuclei is called fibroblast nuclei. Next, ligaments is a structure. It is also have a great strength, and it is connecting the bone to bone. One bone is connected with the another bone with the help of this ligament only, so that it is called very strong and have the great strength. They contain very little matrix. They are strengthen the joints and allow the normal movement. The bending and forwarding of our legs with the knee is with the help of this ligament only. It is giving a very normal movement, and it is also giving the connectivity to the two bones. Okay, sprain is caused by excessive pulling of the ligaments. By giving more stress to the your ligaments, you will be getting a sprains. Okay, that is stretching. More stretching of your ligaments is causing a sprain. Next, fluid connective tissue. It is example blood and the lymph only. Okay, these are the fluid connective tissue which different parts of the body it is running. So okay, the cells of the connective tissue are loosely packed and are embedded in the intracellular matrix. First one is I'll explain you about the blood. Blood contains RBC cells. It's also called erythrocytes. RBC means red blood cells. WBC means the white blood cells. That is also called leukocytes, and platelets also is there. So along with this fluid connective tissue, blood cell move in the fluid. That is the blood cells which is move in the fluid is called matrix. That is a plasma. The plasma contains inorganic salts and organic substances. It maintains the circulating fluid that helps in the transport of nutrient substances. So matrix of the blood is plasma, and it contains inorganic and organic salt. It helps in the transport of nutrient substances. If you are taking a RBC cells, that is a red blood corpuscles or the erythrocyte cells, they are corpuscles oval in shape or the biconcave disc shape like a thing, and they does not have the nucleus. That's what I mentioned here as an lac nucleus. When mature mammalian RBCs, they contains a respiratory pigment called hemoglobin, which transport the oxygen to the tissue. So the main role of RBC, which is in the circle or the biconcave in the shape, oval in the shape. If you are taking this cell, does not contains any nucleus, it just cells, and this cell consisting of important respiratory pigment or the pigment is called hemoglobin, which carries the oxygen to the different parts of the body. WBC is also called white blood corpuscles or the white blood cells or the leukocytes. They are, when comparatively RBCs, they are larger in size and it consisting of a distinct nucleus and colorless. And it is giving amoeboid movement. Okay, it does not have any legs, pulse of like pseudopodia, and it is moving, that is by the called amoeboid movement, and play an important role in the defense mechanism. Any foreign particles or the dust which is enter into your body, that this WBC is coming and evade the or it is releases or it is evade the particular dust or the microorganism, so that it is helps in the defense mechanism. They engulf the foreign bodies like a bacteria, virus or the dust, and WBC also called as granulocytes and agranulocyte. Granulocyte means have a irregular shaped nuclei, and cytoplasmic granules include neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils are the example of granulocytes. Agranulocyte, it lack the cytoplasmic granule and include the lymphocytes and monocytes. So this is the RBC cells, round or the biconcave in shape. It does not have any nucleus, but it consisting of respiratory pigment, so that it is can able to transport the oxygen from one place to another place. Next, monocyte lymphocyte is comes under the agranulocyte of the WBC cells. This is having a large nuclei, that is large granules, and this is called it does not have any granules, large nucleus, so that it is and if you are taking this is called granulocytes. In consisting of nucleus is there, along with that some granules is there, so that it is called granulocytes. Next, blood platelets or the next type of cells, which is type of cells or the connective tissue, fluid connective tissue. They are minute and enucleated fragile fragments of giant bone marrow called megakaryocytes. Okay, so the bone marrow that I explained you in the bone itself, that is fine canal is there, that is canaliculi. That canaliculi is act as a marrow or the bone marrow. That bone marrow is also called megakaryocytes because it's minute and enucleated. It does not have nucleus and it is very fragile and it is very light in there, and they are plays a major role in the blood clotting mechanism. That is blood வந்து உறைஞ்சிருதில்ல அடிபட்ட இடத்துல, அது இதனால தான். Next, lymph is a colorless fluid filtered out by the blood capillaries. It consisting of plasma and white blood cells. So next, it maintains the exchange of the material between the blood and tissue fluids. Next, muscular tissues. This is nothing but this is you have studied in the last year itself. That same thing here coming. Muscular tissue means it's made up of muscular tissues, a group of tissue. It is made up of group of muscle cells forming a muscular tissues. Okay, so this tissue composed of myofibrils. Okay, myo means muscle. Muscle fibrils is making a muscle. Each muscle is made up of many long cylindrical fibers arranged parallel to one another. Okay, ஒன்றுக்கு ஒன்று another cylindrical arrange ஆயிருக்கும். According to their structure and location, there are three types: skeletal muscle, striated muscle, smooth muscle, non-striated muscle, and cardiac muscle. First, the muscular tissue. This is skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. The same you have studied in the last year. Okay, skeletal muscle, it is somewhat cylindrically arranged cells. It is made up of myofibrils and it consisting of nucleus also there. It is a striated muscle or the skeletal muscle which is present in our arm and forearm, that is in our hand and arm and thighs and legs is present with this skeletal muscle. And if you are taking a smooth muscle, that is also it is a somewhat spindle in shape, that is present in the blood vessels and also it is present in the some other uterus things. Next, cardiac muscle is it's branched striated muscles. It's also a branched striated. Smooth muscle is also called non-striated muscle. Skeletal muscle also called striated muscle. Skeletal muscle is also called striated muscle. Cardiac muscle also called striated with intergalactic disc. Okay, so it is also branched and made up of cylindrical myofibrils, and in between that you can appreciate the intergalactic disc called cardiac muscle. The skeletal muscle is also called voluntary muscles. Okay, because this skeletal muscle comes under our control is called voluntary muscles. Okay, so they are elongated, the same thing I have explained, striped or the striated appearance, and it is a multinucleated. They are appear in the biceps and triceps of the arms and undergo the rapid contractions. Smooth muscle, it is also broad middle and tapering at the ends. Both the ends are tapering, that is a spindle in shape, and it has a centrally located nucleus, that is uninucleate, and they are non-striated thing because it does not have any striations or the stripes, and it is does not control and our control, so that it is called involuntary muscle. It is present in the blood vessels and gastric glands, intestinal villi, urinary bladder, all those things. Next, finally, it's a special contract tissue. It is present in the heart. Muscle fibers, cylindrical, branched and uninucleate branches or joined to form a network called intergalactic disc, which are unique distinguishing feature of the cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle you can appreciate easily, you can observe with the help of this intergalactic disc. The contraction of the cardiac muscle is involuntary and rhythmic. Nervous tissue is a tissue which is present around the nerves is called nervous tissue. Neurons is a nervous tissue cells, a single cell that is making a structure and functional unit of nervous tissue. Elongated, slender possess the neurons and nerve fibers. Each neuron consists of cell body or the cytoplasm. Dendrons is a highly branched substance which is present at the axon. So long fiber process develops from this cytons. Okay. So they have the ability to receive the stimuli, that is if you are pinching me, so இப்போ ஒருத்தர் கிள்றோம் அப்படின்னா அது அவங்க கிள்றாங்கன்றது எப்படி உணர்றாங்க, when they are pinching their hand, the pinching is a stimuli. நம்ம தான் stimuli கொடுக்குறோம், ஒரு இன்டியூசர் கொடுக்குறோம், அது போயிட்டு பிரெயினுக்கு போயிட்டு பிரெயின்லேருந்து திருப்பி ரிட்டர்ன் ஆனோடனே தான் தெரியும் நம்மளுக்கு கிள்றாங்கன்றது. இதெல்லாம் ஃப்ராக்ஷன் ஆஃப் செகண்டில் நடக்கும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் வாட் தேர் டெல்லிங். The ability to receive the stimuli from within or outside the body and signals is getting different parts of the body. So nerve cells do not undergo cell division due to the absence of centrioles, but they are developed from the glial cells by a neurogenesis. And this is like a do you know only, and this age of our body cells of the eye, lens, nerve cells of the cerebral cortex, most of the muscle cells are lost a lifetime but once dead or not replaced. Epithelial cells are lining the gut last only about 5 days. And duration of the cell replacement, skin cells is taking, if the skin cells are dead, it is taking to regenerate the new cells, that is about every 2 weeks is needed. Bone cells for 10 years is needed. Liver cells 300 to 500 days. Red blood cells, that is it take 120 days and or replaced. Thank you. This is about this video. So up to this lesson is covered. So watch the video, learn the concept. Thank you.